Heyo, this is the final Boosh.
And this is Madhouse, and apparently we got a problem with the alpha.
The 2XKO alpha.
Terrible name.
Terrible name. We're just gonna call it Project L.
Yeah, we might slip up and say 2XKO every now and then, but it's Project L.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So people think the game is too hard. I don't see it.
Of course you don't see it. You play fighting games.
I don't know. I'm talking about like when you come in and play the game, right?
Okay.
It's not complicated to just press buttons and figure something out. You know what I mean? Well, it's not like the characters have complex, not like the characters have complex routes and shit. It's really just ABC. Everything cancels into everything. Well, so I don't see where the complication is.
Well, the thing that's like saying I'm a quantum physicist and you're looking at a quantum physicist problem and I'm saying it's easy.
No.
It's the exact same thing.
No.
How is it?
Because the only reason people are saying this game is so difficult to play is because the game is giving them pushback. The game demands something of them. And I will say this with my chest out. No modern game right now asks anything demanding of its player. And if it does, it has a huge shortcut to get out of it. No game. Street Fighter 6, MK1, Tekken, and Shroud, the biggest games out right now, they all have weird baby shortcut low skill set caveats. This game demands something of its player. It is not hard to go to practice and figure something out.
Well, that's the thing though. Like Riot are the shorthand. I know that the Cannon brothers and whatnot and other developers who played fighting games previously is behind this, but as a shorthand, I'm just referring to them as Riot. So the Riot or the Project L team, I guess too. So the Project L team had a tough decision to make, right? You would agree.
Yeah.
They had, and it's not like they didn't have the same leniency that Capcom or NRS or Arc System Works. They didn't have the same leniency they had. They chose to hyper casualize their games. The Riot, the Project L team didn't have that opportunity. Like they either had to choose a super casual approach, which would have been the expected option because of what the IP is and how they needed to branch out to everybody. Or they could have doubled down and made it actual fighting game. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad they made the actual fighting game. I'm glad we got a fighting game that's actually trying to be a fighting game. Actually demanding something of its players other than just having a pulse.
Other than this game demands you actually play it, then rely on the system mechanics.
I guess my point is that we're getting right to the chase. 2XKO is a little complicated. And that's okay. No, it's not.
I just don't see it, bro.
Because you're not casual.
No, what I'm saying is, right? This game is about as complicated as any other tag game.
It's easy.
And don't say
for you. It's
MK1 is MK1. I can't stand people saying this. MK1 is not a tag game.
It's like a striker.
MK1 is an assist-based fighter. It is not a tag game. Stop calling it a tag game.
Are people calling it a tag game?
Yes.
I never knew. Maybe it'd be easier to know what people are initially like complaining about.
Well, are combos too long? Yeah, but
it's an alpha.
Yeah, it's an alpha. It's not going to be perfect.
My issue is that, okay, so like I said, I'm glad they decided to focus on making a compelling fighter more than a simple one. Even though it seems as though the team's interpretation of simple is just simple control.
Oh wait, hold up. I see where people getting confused. And you, the game. I'm listening. Listen to me. The game is simple, right?
Yeah.
The getting into the game is simple, right? Just pay attention. Okay. None of that for us yet.
Okay.
Look, you pick a character and you press buttons and stuff happens, right?
Right.
Anybody can do that.
Yep.
There's no command you need to follow. You just press up, down, left, and right. Shit happens. Okay. Is that not simple?
Yes.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Now, the issue people are having, other than the mechanical issues like combos being too long and like touch of deaths and shit.
Yeah.
The issue people are having is that this stuff comes with nuance. People aren't used to fighting games having nuance in this generation.
Interactions.
It's either moves having multiple purposes.
It's either play 5 seconds of neutral and then get a knockdown
and run your game.
A hard knockdown and run your game constantly. There's not a whole lot of nuance.
Our favorite thing, the system mechanics bailing you out.
Yeah. And that's one thing I can say about this game as far as I know so far from what little we played, that the system mechanics doesn't bail anybody out.
Am I right or wrong? People, this game is not hard. This game has nuance, like a fighting game's supposed to.
Okay, but
this game, no, listen.
Hold on.
What?
I guess that depends on rather who's complaining. We know casuals are going to complain because they're never going to be happy.
You can't, and I'm glad they didn't take that route, because people who don't know how to play fighting games or have very little experience of fighting game in any game, fighter, shooter, hell, Elden Ring, it don't matter. You cannot satiate these people. You cannot, was it kowtow to them or whatever?
Kowtow?
Yeah. It's like the Japanese bow thing.
Just say bend the knee, man.
Bend the knee, fucking whatever.
Don't be a dirty Negan.
But the thing is,
did I say that right?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
If
that's racist, I'm sorry. I didn't know what it was.
You can't make these people happy, because you know why you can't make them happy? Because they don't know what they want. Oh, we hate zoning. Oh, we hate grapplers. Oh, we hate rushdown unless I'm doing it.
You hit it on the head. To be fair, they hate all that stuff when it's used on them.
Yes.
Like I heard that there was a zoning character, because I play zoners. You know I play zoners.
I play big body and grapplers. Well, mostly grapplers.
So they have a zone character that they were gonna put in here, and then they took her out because she's a zoner.
And she might scare the
casuals away. And that's weird, because I hope they don't like redesign the character so it's like, oh, I'm a projectile, but I'm a rushdown character. Look, that's some NRS logic that I don't want.
I'm just gonna say this. We don't hold our tongue on this channel, right?
Okay.
Get the fuck over it. A fighting game is supposed to add something of it. Every fighting game cannot be tailor-made to your baby whims.
You know what?
Fuck off. I hate this. People who complain about shit like this ruin every fucking game they get involved in. This whole generation, every single game was fucking ruined because
not everything is for everybody.
Not everything. Everything for everybody is something for nobody. You cannot build something for everybody. You have to pick a lane. They chose to pick a lane. They pick a game that's easy to get into,
but hard to master,
but nuanced enough for you to have expression. I know there's no expression in Street Fighter 6. There's barely any expression in Tekken 8. There's no expression in Strife. So y'all used to games just being played linearly, binarily. Y'all go in straight lines, and that's how you learn how to play a fucking game. Y'all can't go back and play games that actually had fucking nuance to it.
All right, let's not come off.
No. I'm tired of this shit.
Go ahead.
It's okay for a game to have nuance. It's okay for a game to challenge its players. Should this game have touch of deaths?
No, obviously.
Should this game have interaction combos?
But it is an alpha.
Should this game have one interaction combos? No. I 100% agree with you on that point. If they can manage to tone down the length and combos to still keep the expression of combos, I'm happy with that. I can meet you in the middle because I can see both ways. I just don't see my own argument. Shit like that need to be taken care of. But then again, it's an alpha.
So that's expected. And you also got to expect some of the caveats with the genre. It's a tag fighter.
It's going to be... That's MK1 problem.
Of course, some of the more hyper, let's say toxic elements of fighting games are extremified. Is that a word? or extreme, or more extreme in tag fighters, because tag fighters are the extreme of the genre.
And you know why this game's so nuanced?
No, but
you wanna know why this game's so nuanced?
I guess tell me.
Because I don't think they play tested everything.
I don't want to get into all
that. No. I don't think they play tested, and I don't mean that as a negative. That's a good thing, because that leave room for them to discover things. Yeah, infinites, we get it.
You have random things like this game was in development for at least 5 years. So how does Ari Assist have like a damage scaling issue?
Okay, but yeah, that's small shit.
But it's small, but who's playing?
It's a glitch.
Ari was one of the first characters announced in this game.
It's a glitch, and it's okay.
I don't know.
Alpha.
I find that weird after so long that like your one of your initial characters that you put out has a pretty big
See, the
bug.
key word is initial. So maybe they worked on her and finished her, but they didn't see that in time.
Whatever. I'm not here to blame anybody for anything. All I'm saying is Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, certain elements of Tekken 8, right? All these games, that you have so many other games that cater to your whim. That
They
bends
just
the knee.
bow down. Y'all just ramming them all up in
Okay,
their
settle
guts.
down. Let me talk.
In their guts.
Let me talk. They all bend the knee. They all settle down to chase an audience that obviously doesn't care about the genre as much as the next person. And I'll stand firmly behind that. When you make when you're in a specific kind of anything, really, you can't make something for everyone. Fighting games are for a very specific type of video game player. Just like how puzzle games or golf games or sports games. We could all make fun about how those games suck.
And there's different types of fighting games.
But they're for specific people. So you have Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, and MK1 if you want to stick to 2D fighters. You have all those games if you want to be catered to. Is it wrong for Project L to be a little more complex?
And you know the part that gets me? Super Smash Bros. Is a game that is simple but still very nuanced. And that game don't get called hard at all because it's in the non-threatening package. Like all the Super Smash Bros. Games are very nuanced.
Well, just like actually, I see a lot of Super Smash Brothers in Project L, not from like a design standpoint, but like morally, where they have to, their IPs are big enough, and this IP is big enough to apply to a whole lot of people.
Yeah, and they just come in.
They gotta balance. They gotta try to balance. Sometimes I know Smash Brothers is like, moo, I don't like competitive fighting games, but our community, we have a really big competitive like community, but we don't interact with them meaningfully, right?
Yeah.
We do more damage than anything. This is obviously the opposite. But they want tournament players to play this game. But I'm glad it's a fighting game the developers wanted to play.
They picked the proper lane. To me, this is a very simple game to get into, but you gotta put in the work if you're gonna want to play it. It's not hard. The game expects you to play it. The game not going to play itself like these other games. They're not going to play themselves. The game expects you to play it, interact with it.
And that's not a bad thing. It's
okay to learn. It's okay to lose. It's okay.
It's okay to go to the training mode.
It's not going to hurt. It's not going to bite you.
It's okay that sometimes somebody does a gameplay function that you don't agree with. And that's another massive thing. If they're going to commit to this, we're making a fighting game first before anything else.
Grapplers and zoners better exist.
You have to accept that there's other styles of play. How can you make a game that's supposed to be like, oh, this is a fighting game for fighting game players? Okay, guys. Well, you can't have rushdown characters, you can't have zoners, you can't have grapplers, you can't have trap characters. I'm okay with gimmick characters. Like, no, you have to allow all those gameplay styles to be played. I am so sick and tired of other archetypes being removed from games because it's quote unquote problematic. Allow zoners in your game. Allow grapplers in your game. Mortal Kombat 1 pretty much abolished archetypes. Archetypes because it was so fucking, other than Rushdown. Rushdown's easy to understand. Okay, but you need to add zoning and shit. It's boring otherwise.
The most complex character in MK1 is Rico.
Who?
Rico.
Oh, fuck, I wasn't paying attention.
You know why? Because he's a grappler that LTG uses as owner. That
okay, but at least he has the option to be.
I know, but it's funny.
But
anyway,
this game has a tough decision to make, and like I said, hopefully when the game comes out in a beta version or comes out officially, which is going to be sometime next year, I think. When all this happens, I hope the game isn't changed that much because it's good where it's at right now. I have my problems with it.
There's going to be problems.
There's going to be problems, but my problems are a lot less than.
I love the fact that this game is not a laboratory game. Have we ever said laboratory game on here before?
I don't know.
A laboratory game is what we have now for the big four, the Street Fighter 6s, the Mortal Kombat, blah blah blah. They're a game that is so play tested and so limited in what you can do that the developers do this as a faint attempt at balance. There's no such thing as balance in a fighting game, and if there is, some of them, but they're gimmicky. But you should not aim for a fighting game to be balanced.
Because I feel Project L can do a lot of good. I feel that if they walk this route, if they allow archetypes to be archetypes, if they give their game a little bit of grease that people have to get into a bit to, if they give the game a little bit of minutia, if you will, for people who getting into it to learn about fighting games on a more wider scale, I think this can do more good than just pandering to casuals.
You don't have to do that.
Project L doesn't have to save fighting games.
No, it just has to be a good one.
It just has to be a good one. Yes.
And believe me, we don't have that right now.
And people get so caught up in this will save fighting games. This will save fighting games. And in my opinion, yes, fighting games as a genre are in danger. Casualization is a thing. I don't think casualization needs to be something that's prioritized. But what Project L needs is to keep the core gameplay the way it is.
Having accessibility options, okay.
Having accessibility options, give players a good single player.
Yeah, making sure the game is relatively balanced, but still kind of crazy.
Don't force players.
Don't force balance
into online where they're just gonna lose and then resent the game because they're salty.
Yeah.
You should give them plenty of single player options, plenty of training options. Take your time and explain these mechanics in a tutorial mode. This is what you need to get casuals in. I don't think dumbing down fighting games is a way to get casuals in. It's definitely a way for short-term success.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's short-term.
If you really want to pop off,
I love Street Fighter 6. Next Call of Duty out there playing that.
But Street Fighter 6 is what it is.
I'm just Street Fighter 6 as an example.
What I'm saying is Street Fighter 6 and Street Fighter's never been like it tries not to be a super complex series. We've said this before. But Street Fighter 6 is so...
I'm so disappointed in that game.
It's so dry.
And vanilla.
It's so safe.
It's so play tested.
It's so, like, soulless.
The game...
Mechanically, it's soulless.
Yeah. The game tries so hard to be non-threatening that it's probably the most boring game out right now.
It's a Nerf game.
Oh, MK is boring. MK allowed you to do more than Street Fighter 6.
Can't say that. You can't say that.
Like, fuck fan bases. Fuck who you're loyal to. I am talking about the games pound per pound. I am not dedicated to a game. And if I was dedicated to a game, it'd be MK. And y'all hear me talk shit about MK.
But we should be wrapping this up soon. We played Project L for a bit. Is this something you'll be coming to, Madhouse?
Yeah. Why not?
It's free to play.
It's free to play.
And
if they don't lock characters,
yeah, there you go. Okay,
behind paywalls. If it's supposed to be a competitive game, you better not lock these fucking characters behind paywalls.
Yeah, it just seems like don't do the multiverses thing. Like,
don't do the MK thing.
The MK? Oh yeah.
Locking fucking mechanics behind paywalls.
I forgot about that.
Their character bitches their sisters.
They're mechanics.
They're mechanics.
But yeah, in my opinion, as long as they stay on this route of trying to make a compelling fighting game first, if they don't lock characters behind paywalls, nobody's saying you can't pander to casuals, but you shouldn't give them your whole hand. You shouldn't teach children that whining and crying are ways to get rewards.
Yeah.
You should teach them that, hey, sometimes fighting games are cheap, and sometimes fighting games are annoying, and sometimes you don't feel like getting zoned, or sometimes you don't want to get mixed by a grappler. But these are the things you get in the genre. You don't see racing games like, man, you don't like the turn?
Let's do it for you.
Well, here's auto turn, and then auto turn, you can win tournaments with auto turn. You don't see that because it's retarded.
I want to listen. If we're gonna end it like this, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
For all fighting game developers, it's okay to be aware of the casual audience. They're a very important part, and I know I said before today night. They're a very important part of getting your game noticed and getting it off the ground. Okay?
Yeah.
You should build your game for the people who's going to get the most out of it. Make accommodations for the people who don't know how to play, like you said before. Single player modes, decent tutorials, shit like that. But your core game, even though Project L is simple to get in, is nuanced. The game is not as hard as people say. Remember, the only reason it's hard is because they're getting pushback.
And they don't understand.
They don't understand what's happening. Design the game for people who are going to get the most out of it. The control scheme in this game is simple, but the game is deep. The game is simple, but it has meat on its bones. And there's a lot more I can say about the games we got now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only reason I get hype and I yell is because I actually care. And I've been playing fighting games almost the majority of my life up to this point.
For a very long time. Yeah.
For a very long time.
So seeing the state they're in, it's
frustrating.
Seeing the state that fighting games are in, where they can exist in a world where they can definitely have their cake and eat it too. It's fucking sad. It's fucking sad that you're taking the easiest route. And I get it. It's money. I'm not here to say don't make money. But I don't know, man. If it was me, I would worry about entertaining like my core audience first, and then bringing in casual.
And you know the sad part?
I'm the idiot that doesn't make $1 million off easy
Bullshit.
fucking games that can sell costumes for avatars and not actual character costumes.
And you know the sad part? There are games that attempt to do what the Big Four do right now, and are a lot better.
Like what?
Like stuff like what's it called? Pocket Bravery.
Pocket Bravery.
Yeah, like these indie. It's a lot of indie games
Pocket Bravery.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, it's a lot of indie games out right now that are.
Dude, you could just say support indie. Why do you have to say Pocket Bravery?
Because
what
it's
the
like
fuck.
I'm just saying, it's games out right now that attempts to do the same thing and are much more successful for it, but they don't get the limelight.
Well, it's because they don't have a big budget. You don't have
but sometimes you gotta stretch your horizons. Fighting games is more than just Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and Guilty Gear. And I didn't even think we would be at a point where I say Guilty Gear.
Well, to be fair, we said it at the point that yes, they're here that Guilty Gear is a household name, but it came at the cost. Of
the entire franchise.
Actual Guilty Gear.
Like, they get the anime now. Yeah, they made it.
So I wouldn't call Strive Guilty Gear. I'll call it like some kind of Nick Jr. version of Guilty Gear with LGBTQ elements to it.
Everything represented in Shrive except gameplay.
That 3v3 mode could have been good.
Could have been good. That's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, so we'll see you next time.
See you.
Oh, and I guess stay tuned for our Cardinal Sin run back.
Oh yeah.
I guess I should say that. All right. Bye-bye for real this time.